Greetings, I am Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, today with Deckworks, with Hecatomb. If you saw the recent stream, I opened up a box of Hecatomb core set boosters. So, we'll be building a Destruction Corruption deck, followed by a Deceit Greed deck. Alright, deck building rules for Hecatomb are, what was it? Game. If I remember correctly, it's, yeah. You must have a deck of at least 40 cards and no more than 3 copies of any card. The deck usually includes 2 Dooms worth of cards. Conditional abilities that bounce off each other. It's possible to do multiple Dooms, but then it's a little bit trickier to make it work. One Doom is guaranteed, to work up to a certain point, and then you're going to potentially have to deal with the evaders for that specific kind of Doom that's going to suck. All right. So, in terms of things we have to work with, we have God cards, have some relics as well. Get those I put in the bottom. I don't think I pulled any relics for destruction. These will provide some kind of guidance for what we could try to build around. Like Brain Canister, when a minion is exiled, its owner discards one at random. And Sky Slayer, each of your corruption abominations gets +1 strength. That's a little bit more reliable to work with. Let's see here. In terms of gods, you can make abominations not block for a turn, and then double all non-combat damage permanently. Each of my abominations gets +2 strength for the turn, and my abominations have Hunter. Go specifically deal with enemy abominations for a turn, or just permanently. All enemies discard their hands when it comes in, and whenever I'm attacked, the aggressor has to sacrifice a minion. So those are some ideas to keep in mind to round out the deck overall. The big thing is making sure you have enough minions. It takes minions to reap souls, and the more minions you can put together into an abomination, the more souls you could potentially get. Alright. So I've got like more than 3 copies of some of these cards. So I'm just going to start pulling um, the first 3 copies of each card that I have for given Doom. So we've got Agonal Hosts, attacks each turn of Fable. So only 2 costs, so I can get them out early. Alistarian is a Strength 3 Great Evader for 5. Which, considering I'm going to be going up against Greed, it's not a bad option. I only have 1 Breath Stealer. Whenever this reaps, destroy target non-guardian minion defender controls. Because there's only 1 copy of it, I'm going to put it over here in the things to potentially experiment with pile. You have the Byaki. 7 for a 5. It's not very impressive, but it's an option. When in doubt, it's mana. We've got the Devoted One. 2 for a Strength 1, Reaper +1. That's actually not too bad. Until I start taking damage. Yeah, I'm gonna keep my extra cards just in case. They're still useful for making 2 different decks of the same, including the same Doom. Hound of Blang. 5 for a 3, Reaper +2. It's a bit on the expensive side, but it has its uses. 2 Lords of Sacrifices. Host, Guardian Regenerator. 3 for a 3 strength. The thing with Guardians is they can only ever block. Which, if I can get an advantage on Souls, is not that bad. But having only Guardians is just not something I want to be stuck with. So they're going to go over here for now. I would have 3 of them, if one of them wasn't broken from being chipped in the core set starter deck. One moment. I can't pause the recording because OBS is being weird for me. I think if I disconnect from YouTube, I should be able to pause my video again, but uh, I'm doing more live streams than videos these days anyway. Okay, got McConnell. 1 for a 2 is a yes for this deck. They are Aztecals, and there's stuff that affects other Aztecals. Like, Big T King. Each of the Aztecal Abomination gets +2 strength. So, as long as there's at least one Aztecal minion, it gets +2. Unfortunately, there's only one of them, so. Goes off into the. I can't entirely build my deck around it, but being able to experiment is is an option. All right. Ooh. It's it's still hot here, so the cards are a little bit sticky, and I'm sweating too. Bringer of Sacrifice. It's a corruption trigger to gain +1 soul, which, considering it is the deck, at that point, having the Guardian is not a bad option because I can gain the soul by playing off someone else, and just kind of try to hold the line as long as possible. Creature from Xylo, 4 for a 2, and stitch one of your minions onto this abomination as a corruption trigger. Which can be helpful if I've just got out like a couple level 1 minions for whatever reason. Daughter of Blood, 6 for a 4, but her corruption trigger is each enemy discards 3, which can maybe make a difference um, later. Only 2 copies, so it's going to be hard to build things around her. All right. Since we're playing with destruction, Let's go over the destruction triggers. Hadribor, 4 for a 2. Regenerator goes back to my hand with destroyed. Target Abomination gets Rager +2. So something that I already have in play can get stronger and go on the offensive on something. Set aside all the extra ones. Nahul, Nahwal, 1 for a 3. When you play this, sacrifice a mana card. And 3 damage to target Abomination if played on Destruction. Which, if I have set in play, is going to be 6 damage. I have exactly 3 of them. Got Orthon, 3 for a 3. Destruction trigger is look at the top card of target enemy's deck, you may destroy it. If it's a horribly expensive card that they're not going to be able to put into play, then maybe it's worth leaving there. If it's stupidly powerful, might as well get rid of it. Yeah. All right. And there's all the triggers for the other dooms that we're not playing with. That they're not all extras, so I go ahead and put them aside. Somewhere I can pick them up later. Because yeah, the Chest X Battle Mat, these cards get stuck to them easier, which is why I have everything on on note paper. Okay. So these are the crossover cards. Those are the loyalty cards. Need enough of the lower cost stuff to mess with early. But need some decent um higher strength stuff for later. So we'll pile the cheap cards together. And pile the expensive cards in their own stack. We'll set those. I don't really need to print out right now. Sure, unreliable. If I can't run three copies of it, it's an unreliable, and it's only with serious consideration for strategy that for potential surprises. Although, who am I really surprising when I'm playing both sides of the showdown? That is part of the reason why I kind of left it in the past. Also, because I was getting kind of tired of buying dead card games for the hell of it. All right, now for fates, because having minions is nice. Having fates to alter the situation is better. Is having fates in conjunction with minions to make the most of the situation is better. There we go. Emasculate. Combat Fate. Destroy target non-guardian minion. Which can really throw off someone's game. But there's only one of it. We got a couple Dark Genesis. Also Combat Fate. Stitch up to 3 of your minions together. If someone thought that they um, could pull a sever on you. Is it? There we go. Glimpse of the Cosmos. I actually have a whole playset of. Each enemy discards 2, which I would have more. More to work with compared to Daughter of Blood. But at least with Daughter of Blood, I actually have something to work with minion-wise. Midnight Snack. Fate. Tap target Abomination. If I want to guarantee that destruction, that something powerful gets through, that'll be the key. But it's horribly expensive. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Soul Drain. One. And target Corruption Abomination gets Reaper +1, which is going to be useful. Of course, I'm working on a deck for a card game of the Apocalypse during a thunderstorm. All right, and then finally, I got only one copy of Torment. Two, look at target player's hand and discard one of the cards. Good old coercion. So we're unfortunately only one copy is could be hard to play with. Okay, so I'm going to put all the trigger cards in a middle pile here. The half that's more expensive down here. The half that's more expensive up here. More or less triggers. Fates. And the one of, two of. Okay. Alright. Move these off to the side for a sec. Alright. Try to keep them in a somewhat recognizable order for later. Okay. Destruction. For gods we have set. Um, double the non-combat damage. And Abominations can't block for a turn, which could be a game winner. Yeah, that's the thing with figuring out the timing on things. Because at the start of the game, both players have 5 souls. Between them, that's 10. It takes 20 souls to end the game. And it takes 5 turns between each player to build up that pool enough that someone could potentially win the game. If someone's using like where you go, the bringer of sacrifice type abilities to gain souls that way, then that fills the pool sooner. It's a very interesting approach for the game. All right, got Engama 5 for 5. Parasite, Deceit Evader, so it has to go on top of something, and nothing else can go on top of it. That's very much late game, or maybe mid to late game. 5 Space Interloper. This is my favorite, one of my favorite minion names. I don't know why. 4 for 3. But while it's still small, it has Rager +3, which can be pretty useful, I think. Take advantage of maintaining the small size and cause absolute havoc on someone's battle line. Um, Great Mother. 7 for 6. This can't be blocked by an abomination with less strength. It can only be blocked by things that could actually defeat it. It's also an ass tackle for the things that will go off the ass tackles. That's one of the things I've been looking for theme wise is doing an ass tackle deck. Grog. 9/10 for a dragon. Yes, dragons are a creature type because, hey, it's the apocalypse. Parasite Fanatic Reaper +1. Unfortunately, there's only one of them. Gold Hatcheteers, 1 for 1. When you play it, lose 1 soul. It drains the economy. Hybrid Elephant. 7 for an 8, no other abilities, but sometimes Spirit Force is what you need. I have only 1 copy of Ravenous Reaver, 4 for a 3 with Hunter. And only 1 copy of Razor Wire Artist, 2 or 3 for a 2. Rager plus number of Deceit abominations all enemies control. Yeah, it helps that I know I'm going up against Deceit, but it wouldn't be very effective if, um, I didn't know ahead of time what I was dealing with. I have to wonder if the tournament scene for this game made it a point to think about sideboarding. Skin Taker, Aztackle, 4 for a 2. When you reaps, deal 3 damage to target non-guardian abomination defender controls. So if something is like already tapped that I can't block, this gives you an opportunity to kind of take a shot at them. If set is in play, that's 6 damage. Unfortunately, there's only 2 to make that work. Okay. Got the Butcher. Fresh meat. 5 for 4. Destruction trigger, 3 damage target abomination. Okay. It's not too bad, but gonna require some planning to make the most of it. I only have 1 maniacal soldier back, 7 for 7. Fanatic if played on destruction, which, considering that'll be half the deck, I might be able to make that work once. Fanatic is the haste uh, keyword for this game. Nephilim, 2 for 4 Guardian, and Destruction trigger. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put 1 on the bottom. Gives you a chance to mess with your fate, which is always appreciated in a game like this. I want to do a video about card game design um, without simply saying, "Oh, just look at the article on TV Tropes." You know, where that is one of the things you got to keep in mind for potential things that give players some options to work with. You know, you can mess with the order of your deck up to a certain point. So they only have 1 at Ruin Sifter. 2 for a 1, but when it's destroyed, I gain a soul. And it sacrifices 1 of my minions if it um, is played on destruction. So that one's kind of tricky. Withering Mistress, Rager +3. Otherwise, it's a 6/2. 6 for a 2. Fanatic and target abomination block disable. So effectively Hunter, but I don't get a chance to untap somebody. And sadly, there's only two of them. Okay. Again, I probably screwed up the pronunciation. Teoto, and 3 for 2 with the corruption trigger of tap target strength 5 or less abomination. So if they got out something kind of weak, I can go deal with it. Keep it occupied for a turn. For something else to go stomp. Primeval Larva, destroy target strength 3 or less minion with its corruption trigger. Otherwise, it's a 5/2, which is it's alright. Right. And then we're to all the other factional stuff that I'm not messing with. But I need to at least separate the extras because I want to make sure uh, the ones that I have extra I'm going to set aside, and the ones I actually have enough of I'll probably keep readily available for deck building. All right. I don't seem to have as many minions to work with destruction side. So yeah, a lot of destruction is expensive. All right. Now let's take a look at the fates. Curse of the Ancients. 4 and 3 damage to each abomination. Which, if I have the stuff in play that can survive it, it's fine. But it's going to hurt a lot of the minions I've got. It's a maybe. Fire overwhelming. X target abomination deals X more combat damage. Yeah, it's just uncommon. But it can help deal with a particularly challenging foe. 100 lashes. Target demon abomination gets fanatic. So the demon has to be up top to make use of it. Remind me how many demons I have so far. Um, or Nephilims are giants. The Butcher's a demon. The Angama is a demon. Withering Mistress is a demon. Or Ravenous Reaver is a demon. Uh, but I already said I wanted to go Aztecal. Because open the tomb. 7. Reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Put any revealed Aztecal minion cards into play. Which then I could work with the Genesis card. Where do you go? Dark Genesis. Where are you? Yeah, stitch up to 3 remaining together. Okay. Everyone's favorites. Surrounded by idiots. Destroy target relic. Except here's the thing. I already know what kind of relics there are on for the other deck. Um, Deceit's the only one I've got relics for, so it would be kind of a waste, or it might be plain. I don't know. And that's the thing. If their relic comes into play, then that's going to be a considerable advantage. But if they don't have any relics, then all this is good for is as mana zone fodder. Victimize. 4 damage to target blocked abomination, which you could combine with set. Because this is not combat damage, this is combat fate. And Winchester Blessing. To target destruction abomination gets Rager +4. Okay. Okay. So with all that sorted through, the question is, what do I make out of all this? All right. First off, all the fates that we have got 3 of will get set aside here. Put those where I can see them close enough for later. Okay. Now we're at the cheap minions pile. So McConnell, Hatcheteer, 5 space interloper, devoted one, Agonal, see. So for the 2s, these are 4s. Anything 4 and up are going to go over. Actually, anything 5 and up will go over here. A lot of cheaper costs in the corruption side of things for minions. There's 3, so 1. So 4, 5s. Yeah, I think in general you want to try to keep like a couple of abominations going. If you only have 1, then that 1 is at risk of getting like completely destroyed. Might also be enough to win, but still, there's a bit of a risk. Okay, Mifflin is a 2. Pitcher's a 5. And playing is a 5. Gun is a 5. Great Mother is a 7. Elephant's a 7. And let's sort of get into the ones. Ones and twos. And Byaku's a 7. Alright. Everything in this pile is I only have 1 or 2 left. It means it's going to be harder to rely on stuff from that pile. So let's look at this again. We want enough stuff we can throw early. In terms of lower cost. So the McConnell, the Hatcheteer, the let's see, the Knuckleball requires you sacrifice an mana card. It's a little tricky to use. They can deal damage to an abomination. The Knuckleball and the Nephilim together. And try to build this in a kind of a balanced manner. So we've got some lower cost stuff to work with. And some um, Guardian stuff. Thinking Su Toto, Greater Sacrifice. More Guardians stuff to work with. But Get Souls, that taps Abominations. Are any of these combat? Okay. Creature from Xylo is a combat minion. I could play it during someone else's turn and catch them by absolute surprise. But that means I kind of have to mentally be aware of that. Will I go with a Butcher? It's requiring um, being played on Destruction. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the full Aztecal deck that I was thinking of at this rate. So the Butcher is creature. Let's see. Something a little bit stronger. Alright. Put another one down here. Okay. So I'm up to 24 between these ones. I'm going to start messing with um, more specialized stuff. Renewal are low strength, but destroy target low strength minion. Laundry Bore for Regenerator. And Turn Abomination gets Ranger +2. Okay. Okay. These are the two ofs. So right now that's 24. It's 28. Thinking um, we take Angama and Alastarian. Those are both demons. And run 100 lashes. I'll do 2 copies of those. And then maybe Soul Drain. That extra Reaper. So there's 12, 12, 12. It's 36. We added in 4 extra cards to have some fun with, just to um, mess with things. Yeah, I've got some non-combat damage stuff going for it. But I think we'll take Gurog and see here. What else fun? See. Gurog and Maniacal Silverback. That way I've got a couple Fanatic options as well. And then over on the corruption side of things, um, Dark Genesis and Tezcatl Lapoka. Actually, we'll drop Dark Genesis. Can't really rely on. I mean, at this point where I can't really rely on stuff, so I might as well just go a little bit wild here. Breath Stealer, also a demon, and when reaps destroy target non-guardian minion defender controls. Cool. So that is a 40 card deck. That is something. I'll see how it actually plays out later. It is a ton of minions. I have to see how it goes. Did not put in any relics though. The funny thing is Sky Slayer is cheap enough. Alright. There's one down. How's it taken me like over 40 minutes to do one freaking deck? Okay. Have that. Alright. I'll properly separate out and kind of shuffle things for this deck later. Alright, this one's gonna have to go a hell of a lot faster because holy crap. I'm just gonna sort things out into what I have 3 copies of, what I don't. Okay, Blood Ripper or Blood Monkey, strength 4 for 3 with Ripper. Um, can untap target Deceit Abomination. Calibleaver 2 for 2. Triggers on Deceit. Discard 1 to draw 1. Hyana Demon 3 for 2. Well, let's is attacking or blocking your combat fates are cheaper. So her presence means um, more tactical options. But I only have one of her, so she goes over there. Crocothorpe, 6 for 5 with Ripper, and Target Abomination gets Ripper. 10 Mr. Dreamer, 10 for 10 Parasite Fanatic. Tap Target Abomination. This is like a classic card for. It is like one of the notable cards in the game. The 10 for 10. Vortic, only have one of those. 2 for 2 Parasite on taps. Crypt Colors, 4 triggers off greed. Exhume target minion card. Um, One too many of those. Executor Yamog. 8 for 7. What if we reap one soul from each enemy instead? It's also a dragon because it is the apocalypse. Smothering Curtains, 6 for a 3. Greed trigger, put target enemy mini card from the graveyard into play. Hmm, it's very specific. And we're not using any of this. But it's funny the crossover with destruction is Blind Pollen. Alright. I still need to sort out the spares. Custom phase 1. Okay. Alright. The other classic, Baby Blood Monkey. Play this, discard 1. And I only have 2 of it. So that is not reliable. But it is cheap, so it might go very well go into the deck. Being from Beyond. Whenever this reaps, discard 1, then draw 1. Already have 3 of it. More than 3. Shit. Damned Thing. Parasite Destruction Evader. 6 for 7. It's expensive, but that extra strength is going to be useful. And knowing that I'm going up against Destruction. Everil. One of the streams, exile target minion the defender controls. Which would work well with the corruption relic of brain in a jar. There is one with 2 of it though. Elevator. 7 for a 5, and if this is a great abomination, it's +3 strength. That might be something to run with. But again, I want 2 of it. Hypersonic Fiend. 6 for a 3 with Fanatic, which at that point in the game might be worth doing. Skull Swarm, 7 for a 1. +3 for each other minion in the abomination. Potentially strength 13. It's only one of it though. True Gargoyle. Guardian, Survivor +4. And I have 3 copies of it. It's something I'm probably going to end up relying on. Yeah, if it doesn't have any special abilities, I'm probably just stack it over here. As a reminder, here's all the straightforward ones so you don't have to worry about. Move the triggers to over here. Go away, and we're down to fates. Bloodlust, Combat Fate. Untapped target abomination gets +2 strength play only when defending. Surprise, I still have a blocker. Fool. Food poisoning too. Abominations deal no combat damage this turn. That might be another surprise. Pulling somebody. Here. I do need to keep an eye on this. Have sever target minion from an attacking abomination. Another fun trick to pull on somebody. Hidden power. Target abomination gets +3 strength. Yeah, Deceit has a lot of combat fates for just completely catching your opponent off guard. It's always interesting to see how a game handles the interrupt concept of I'm going to do this on your turn. Potential. The very uncommon Impale, and yet I have a full set of it. Target Abomination gets Ripper. Draw one. Okay. There. There's fun shit. It's only dream, exile target minion or relic. It's expensive, but it might just remove the one thing that might cause you the biggest headache. Okay. Sermon of Lies. Shuffle target gardens is on his deck. 7 pulled off. Only one of it. You have to kind of know ahead of time that your opponent's going to be bringing a god card. Sunder 7. Sever up to 2 minions from target abomination. It is not a combat fate. Relics though. Fetish of Al Hazred. Um, Tapped abominations can still block. And Signet of Loki. All abominations have Fanatic. Together, all your abominations have Fanatic and can still block. Although I believe that affects all abominations. Period. Let's Let me take a look at something. Now that I think about it, Sky Slayer. Oh, each of your corruption abominations. Brain canister. Whenever a minion is exiled, its owner. So the brain canister does affect um, uh, you and your opponents, but the Sky Slayer is only for you. All right. Okay. And now for the greed stack. Forsaken Shell, Host, Corruption Evader, Force for a 6. Really straightforward. We'll go into the I have 3 of it, but that's all it does. Stack. Ghoulish Reanimator, 4 for a 2, Undead. Remember, Exhume target greed card. Pull it out of the graveyard. Only have one of them, though, so. Okay. Let this flesh bag survivor based on its size. No trigger abilities. Only one helmet, 2 for 2. Top card of your deck never Amazon with Reaps. I have only one Jester. 3 for 1. Each undead abomination gets +2 strength. Wait, how many undead am I running? What I got? Forsaken Shell. Crypt Caller. Let's see what other undead I can pull out of here. Mindless Servant, full playset of 1 for a 1. It does nothing else. It's just a 1 for a 1. Sometimes that's as simple as that is. Sometimes that's exactly what you need. Mr. Banana is 2 for 4 Guardian. Well, it's a Deceit, an Abomination. It can attack as though it weren't. So this on top of like the True Gargoyle to go cause trouble. Spirit of Fury, I have at least 3 of. 3 for 2, Martyr, so it goes to Mana Zone after it dies. There's a rare minion type, Psychosis. His actual insanity made manifest as part of an abomination. That's bold. All right. The Twin Husk, Guardian Survivor +2. Also undead. Only cost a 1. It's not too bad. Brain Surgeon 3 for a 3. Exhume target greed minion card. Okay. If placed on greed. Viscerator. Each enemy loses 1 soul, which is probably going to be useful considering where corruption goes. It's an animate. Murder of Crows, 8 for a 6 with Martyr. Which is kind of late, but it's something. Destroy target mana card, put the top card of your deck into your mana zone. So destroy someone else's mana card. Make use of it. Hey, it's another dragon. King Wolfgar, 9 for 7. Trying to remember what the corruption, if corruption has a dragon too. And you may play Fate for no cost when you actually play it. Unfortunately, it's not a combat minion, so you can't do the play a combat Fate. Fun. Along with Murdered Crows, we've got Ravenmancer. 5 for 3. Sever target corruption or destruction minion. Which is exactly what we're going up against, so it makes sense. Scartus. 3 for 2, enrich souls, destroy target non-green minion the defending player controls, which going what we're going up against. Makes sense. Okay. A lot of Scartus would have extras. Alright. And now we're to all the stuff that does not go with the deck I'm trying to make here. But I still need to make sure the extras are out of my way later. Okay. Over to Fates. We got Armor Raft. X target abomination gets Survivor plus X. So that counters the Fire Overwhelming. Forbidden Word. Each enemy loses 2 souls. That buys a little bit of time to reach the upper level minions. Gift of Hades. Target abomination gets Survivor plus 3, which keeps my stuff alive a little bit longer. Alright. Hush. Each enemy puts one of their minions into their own mana zone untapped. The cost of 4. It shuts down potential threats that way. If they only have, especially if they only have 1 minion. Okay. Life Extraction 3. Put the top card of your deck into your mana zone. Good old accelerate your mana collection cards. Try to remember what the one is for magic. I know it's green. It's some kind of land search thing. Green does a lot of that. Only 2 copies of Meddling Kids. 5. Each enemy sacrifices a mana card. That's definitely a screw you strategy. Only 1 copy of Reprocess. Sacrifice a minion to add 5 green mana. Greed. 3 for relics. I forgot I do have relics for greed. Alter atrocities. Or one of your abomination reaps atop a number of target mana cards up to its size. Speakable Talisman. Whenever a mana card is tapped for mana, it produces 1 extra mana. Greed is speed. Alright. Okay, let's sort this out. Everything that I've got 3 copies of that is a fake card is going to go here for a moment. Okay. Everything more expensive than 5 is going to go over here for a sec. We go 5 costs 4, 3, 2, and then ones will go up top. Husk. Spirits of 3, Servants of 1, BFB is a 4, FSS is 4. Yeah, if I shorten things down to like a few letters, it's for the sake of expediency. It's something I ended up doing with the my market research shit for Eve, because writing out the long ass names for some of them is just crazy. Like, no, I needed something a little bit more compact than that. All right, being from beyond. Okay, so the ones, the twos, the threes. Fours and fives. Might have to get a little bit more creative on what I use out of these. So I'm thinking 2 Scartist, 2 Blood Monkey. We go 2 Forsaken Shell, 2 Viscerator, 2 Crypt Caller, 2 Damned Thing. Damned Thing. You don't make my heart sing. Alright. So there's 9, there's 18, there's 12, so there's 30 so far. Okay. 30. Okay. What else? We'll set those aside for the time being. We'll keep the Murder of Crows and the Hypersonic Fiend around as options. I don't like anything out of the stacks here. What are some things I can rely on out of the fates? Things I'm gonna have fun with. Hmm. I think those are just way too expensive. Okay. out of these. Oh, so hot in here. Jeez. All right. 30. Accelerating my mana is nice. Cutting down someone's abomination is helpful. Slowing down soul victory on top of severing. Useful. Being able to precision deal with weaker minions is going to be useful. So that brings it up to 38 so far. And maybe there's a one of from each of these that I can throw in for fun. Throw in as a one of. See. Signet of Loki could be evil. All abominations have fanatic. King of Voltaire. Uh, see. Altar of Atrocities. Okay. Turn fighters into farmers. Alright. Cool. I now have two customized decks for HECATOMB. The question is, which deck do you think will win between Destruction, Corruption versus Greed, Deceit? Feel free to place your guesses in the comments below, as I will be doing a video for the showdown, post Deckworks showdown, HECATOMB. I'll probably be doing that um, tomorrow, maybe early tomorrow. I still want to make up for some streams that I haven't really um, been doing lately. I said I was going to do another Indivisible and another Reciteer, and I haven't done either. So I was supposed to do them last week, and last week just kind of fell apart for me. I was just having some issues. So, um, yeah, doing those. I'll be doing this. Uh, I will be using, instead of these flimsy cardboard tokens for the souls, these. These will be representing the souls for um, Hecatomb for the showdown, because these look nicer. Ones, threes. All right. Now I get to put all this away for the time being. But I want to say thank you for watching. I hope it's been entertaining. I'm always trying my best. to make things as entertaining as I can. And I know it's not always easy, but I am very, very grateful for the support I've gotten so far. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. It's always appreciated. Thank you. All right. It's been Pillar Nexus, the Ancient Gladiator, and I'll see you next time.